Hi, welcome to Tip Drops with Khalida. In today's video, which is a special request, thank you Caroline, I will share how I store and transport my silk props. So veils, fan veils, anything that I don't want to get too wrinkled or creased by transporting it. The first thing I would recommend, by the way, is to iron your silk props. And if you're not sure how to do that, I demonstrate ironing my fan veils in a free video that I recorded on Wednesday. I will link to it here if you have not seen it yet. It's also on YouTube. So firstly, iron your props, and secondly, store them smartly and transport them smartly so you don't have to redo it all over again once you want to perform or practice with them. I also practice with ironed props, by the way, and when I teach, I bring my iron veils, but I don't iron them every time. I try to store them in a way that I don't destroy the work too much. So firstly, my veils, if I have ironed them and they are fresh, I at some point will have to put them away. So after dancing, this one has been ironed and then danced with and then put away. And as you can see, it's still pretty okay. Even if I want to iron it, it will only be like a quick redo. So once a veil is ironed, until it has cooled down, I don't fold it right away. So what I do is I hang it over a sofa, or as you can see the bar, I hang it loosely. I just fold it once and I hang it out so it can dry or cool down without any wrinkles coming into it. Once that is done, in the house, if I'm not dancing with my veils, I store them fluffily. So I don't fold them tightly. If you do that, that's how they are transported when you buy them usually. And our instinct is to put the veils back in the situation that we found them. But if you fold them nice and neatly into a little square and then make it all nice and tight, what will happen is that wherever you fold it, you will have a line. So you'll have squares in your veil. So what I do instead might be counterintuitive, but I store it fluffily. I do this, and as lightly as I can, I put it somewhere. So that's what happens with this veil in between classes. I have a glass bowl. Maybe you can see it. I have to turn in the back. You saw a bunch of veils. And that's a glass bowl with veils fluffily put on top of each other. And the top one, of course, will have the least creases. So I only do this for 3 or 4 veils, the ones that I use for teaching and for practice. So I don't have to redo them and they won't be there too long. So that's one option. In the home, if you have a glass big bowl, you can store one veil pretty safely like this and dance with it often so it will open again. To refresh a veil that has been ironed without ironing, if you have taken a long shower or bath and the bathroom is a bit steamy, you can just take your veil that you've stored fluffily and wave it around like this. Be sure that it doesn't touch a wet wall so it doesn't get stuck. But if you do this in the bathroom, it'll take on the steam and that will smoothen the silk and make it all shiny and wrinkle-free again. Now, if you want to hang this in your closet, or if you want to hang it to transport it to somewhere else, what I do for performances or photo shoots, if I have 1 or 2 veils, is I fold them over once. I have to find the middle. I have not done this in a while, no performances in these times. So I fold it in the middle. Let me find the middle, more or less, like this. And then you don't want to pull it tight. If you pull it tight, you will get one line here. You may already see it. So I keep it a bit loosely. That's what I do. And if I can hang it, I clip it here and here with a bit of space between it. So I don't clip it at the very end, put 1 or 2 centimeters in, and not tight, but with a bit of playroom. If I don't have that big clothing bag, or if I don't have much space, I would fold it over once more, but again, softly, so it's not tight. And then here, a bit inside and a bit inside, but careful not to make it too tight. That's where I would clip it. Maybe I have an example here. Yes, I do. So this one, as you can see, it's not that neat, but that's so I don't get a crease here at the top. And on the sides the same. I leave a bit of space and I leave a bit of space. And this way I only will have to iron lightly, maybe, or even just waft it around and it will be okay. So that's for veils. If I have to store them or pack them in a suitcase, what I would do is, instead of double only, I'm still not pulling the edges too tight, I would loosely fold it over again. And if this fits in my suitcase, I would fill it up, close the zippers, and then put the veil in between the two halves of the suitcase. So then it will be like smooshed, but only once. If I only have my small trolley, I would fold it over once again. But as you can see, as fluffily as I can. And I maybe would put it in a bag. So this is a reusable plastic bag from my Taekwondo dobok, the suit outfit. So I would put it in here, making sure that I don't flatten it too much. So I want it to have a little bit of air, like this. Hopefully you can see it. And I try to sneak it in there so there's no corners folded too much. So it's like this. And I don't flatten it. I try to put it in a not overfilled trolley. So that will be on top. And then it's more or less safe, like this. If I have to transport more than one, like for classes, I would add more veils to a bag. Also, again, they're not flattened too much. This is 3, 4, 5. And this I would put on top of my dance bag. So that's how I transport it for teaching. And if I take them out, I ask people to just give me the veils or hang them or leave them on the ground, and I will do the folding. Because if students fold my veils, they want to be they're very kind and try to do it really well, and then they are so flat that I have to fluff them again. So if you take my veil classes, just throw the veils at me and I will do it for you. Now for fan veils, it's similar, the same principle. I don't fold or wind it tightly. If I do that, I will make creases. So you don't want to have too much pressure on the silk. I recommend for fan veils, iron them. Check my video, I will link to it. Here you can see one ironed one and one non-ironed one. Hopefully still visible. Which one was? Oh, excuse me, no, I ironed them both. So now they're both shiny. I forgot. So I'm so used to doing it, I don't even know when I'm ironing. So if your veils from the fans are ironed and you want to transport them, close the fans and get yourself a paper towel cylinder. Yes, it's the perfect length for most spines. I've learned how these are called. So you put the fans inside. This way you have a bit of protection and they won't open. Then you grab the silk and you find an edge of one of the silks. Same thing, the edge of the other silk. Let me find it here, and you open it. You open it, you shake it out so it opens as far as you can, and then you flip it over once. So you can go a bit further. You flip it over once, not too tight, and here you let it hang over your arm. So you see, I'm trying to keep it fluffy. And this, so I grab the edge, I open the veil, I shake it out, fold it over once over your arm, and then fold it over the cylinder once. And then you flap, you flip, you flap once more, and like this, you have like a silk little bunch of silk. And this you can again put into a bag, upright, like this. And perforator, I don't know the English word, and you make a little hole here. This bag already has that. You can see a little hole. And that, if you have an iron veil already hung, you can push it through. So you have your fan veil here, upright or diagonal, and your veil here. And this you can just hang over your shoulder, add your costume, put both in a clothing bag, and then you have a quite safe, crease-free, wrinkle-free way to transport your costume and props for performances or photo shoots that you can drive to yourself. If you have to fly, I don't know if that will be possible for a while, but if you have to go further and put this in a suitcase, again, I would make enough space, make like a little square of free space where this can be placed inside without it getting too smushed. Yes, so I would build up clothing around it, and then the other side would close, but it wouldn't squish it. So for this I would build like a little square or rectangle in my suitcase. I think that's all. So we have for veils, fan veils, both you iron them. After you iron them, you hang them over a sofa or something just to let it cool down a bit. Then if you want to store it in your home, do it fluffily. Fan veils with the paper towel cylinder, and veils, I would say a glass bowl, just put one in there. If you want to put it in your closet for fan veils, you can do it like this with the bag and maybe even hang this. For the veils, I would recommend also hanging them, but with a bit of space, so it's not too tight here and not too tight here. And then for transporting, the same, but always put it on top or make space for it so it doesn't get smushed. Okay, and then once you arrive, you shake it out as soon as you unpack this first. Even if I don't unpack my full suitcase when I travel, I always get the veils out or the fan veils out and the costumes out, and the rest I can do later. And then I check how they are. If they are very, very creased, I might ask for an iron, or I might use the steamy bathroom trick, or I might iron them at the venue where I perform. But that's the most stressful. That's plan D, E, or F. I try to do this beforehand as much as I can, and then just transport it smartly to save time. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any other questions about this, let me know. If you have questions about the ironing, I demonstrate it in all peace and quiet. So it's, I think 8 minutes if you have new fans. So that's the most work, because then you might have to go over some parts twice. Check out my video from Wednesday. It was a free Facebook Live session. If you are into silk stuff and you want to either try fan veils for the first time, or you have fan veils and you want to dance with them, learn some tricks, or you have fan veils but you have not danced with them in a while, you are very free to join me for my Fan Veil Boost online series, which will start on Monday. And we have 2 spots left. And you tip droppies, if you want, let me know and I'll save you one of these spots. So we have not started yet. It's 4 weeks of my boost system, which means 3 30-minute sessions per week, which you can follow with me live via Zoom, Facebook, or at your own pace via recordings. And on Mondays, we do strength because it's your base, and it will help you with posture, and also it will help you somehow move with more grace if all the parts of you that need to work are activated to counteract sitting or other movement arts that are repetitive. The strengthening sometimes wakes up your body in a special way, and for me this has been incredibly helpful also to move pain-free. The second day, on Tuesdays, we do relaxation, because this goes together with strengthening. You can keep pushing the gas pedal, but if your handbrake is on, you won't go faster. In some cases, your posture doesn't need only strength, it also needs a release or relaxation in other parts. So you could be holding your posture with force, and if the parts that are kind of counter holding you would relax, it will be more effortless. So I think it's crucial to do both and to harmonize it. So for the Fan Veil Boost, we will work a lot with upper body, but also the rib cage, shoulders, hands and arms. So all of this, but also a little bit of hips, because it's all working together. That's the Mondays and Tuesdays. And then on Fridays, we use this new range of motion or body activation, or a sense of feeling your body move, and apply that to dance. And in this case, it will be fan veils. On the first week, we will do fan veil basics. So the very, very beginning, how to hold them, how to move them with the least amount of effort. The second week will be, I think, wraps and poses, like we did for the veil. Third week will be effects and flourishes. Okay, week 2 and 3, that might be other way around. And the fourth week, the last week, will be your fan veils and you. So how to move with them freely, and how to make any movement you do with it dance. Because I think for props and no props, the most essential thing is that you move with confidence in the way that it feels comfortable for you, and that optimizing that will make it the most beautiful. So that's my that's my plan for the next 4 weeks. If you want to join, I would be really happy to see you there. A few of you tip droppies already are Boost students, by the way, so if you have questions about it or want to hear about their experience, feel free to ask me or them and we will answer all your questions. Okay, I think that's it. Also, yes, if all went well, you will receive this tip drop today on Friday, and this means that the big switcheroo, so I had to do a thing. I had to make a decision, either stop the tip drops for this year or make them free, because administration will change at the end of this month. And this means for me, the tip drops will become less fast and fun and easy. They will become a lot more administrative work, so 25 times more, writing invoices for each €5.50. And I didn't want to do that, but I also didn't want to stop the tip drops. So you're getting these for free for the rest of the year. And next year, hopefully I will continue, but it might become a bit less frequent. So maybe once a month, or maybe twice a month, and one of them will be a video, one will be something else. In any case, I want to continue this as long as it's valuable to you. So if you enjoy these, let me know. And also let me know if you have any questions or requests. Okay, that's it from me for today. If you want to share the tip drops with others, the numbers for COVID are going up in Germany and in different countries around us as we speak. So I am suspecting that more people might be stuck inside in the next month or two, or even more. So if you want more people to be able to enjoy the tip drops, you may share them with others. I was doubting to keep them only available to you guys. And I want to thank you also, because your support for the tip drops has enabled me to be doing this and also to create them. If there were not any supporters, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And also it has helped me build something in this way. So thank you very much. You have also supported me in the times that were most difficult, when I had no income at all. And thanks to you, I am now able to teach online and keep doing this. So thank you very much. Okay, that's it from me for today. I will see you next week with the next tip drop. See you online. Bye-bye.